Welcome to this explainer. If you're a focused learner looking to master the architecture of the Internet of Things without getting bogged down in the weeds, you're in the perfect place. Today, we're going to treat a highly complex IoT system like an easily digestible, step-by-step architectural blueprint. We're talking about the logical design of IoT. Okay, let's dive right into this. When we say logical design, we're talking about the abstract representation of the entities and processes involved in the system. And we're doing this entirely without focusing on the low-level implementation details. Think of it like this. You can fundamentally understand how a car works, right? The engine provides power, the steering wheel directs it, the brakes stop it, and you don't need to know the exact atomic makeup of the metal or the precise coding of the car's computer to grasp that. We're looking at the pure, logical blueprint of how an IoT system operates. So here's our structural roadmap. The 6 functional blocks of IoT are 1. Devices, 2. Communication, 3. Services, 4. Management, 5. Security, and 6. Application. These are the exact 6 puzzle pieces we're going to stack together to build our complete IoT foundation over the next few minutes. And this brilliantly illustrates how those 6 blocks fit together. Take a second to look at this spatial map of our entire architecture before we break it apart. Notice how every single piece sits relative to the others. You've got the foundation at the bottom, the central pillars right in the middle, the protective layer over on the right, and that overarching roof at the top. Let's start right down at the foundation. Block number 1, devices. Devices are the absolute anchor of our system. They form the foundation, interacting directly with the physical environment to actually generate data. Whether it's a smart thermostat in your hallway or a massive sensor on a factory floor, this is where our data's literal day in the life kicks off. Without them, there's no Internet of Things because, well, there are no things to connect. So the crucial point is understanding what they actually do. Devices perform 4 main functions: sensing, actuation, monitoring, and control. Sensing picks up changes in the environment, like a drop in temperature. Actuation causes a physical action to happen, like turning on a valve. Monitoring keeps an eye on the state of things, and control regulates those states. These specific functions are exactly what elevate a normal, everyday physical object into a smart, data-generating foundation. Moving right along to block number 2, communication. If devices are our solid foundation, communication acts as the complex plumbing and wiring. It manages the data exchange and enables connectivity throughout the entire IoT ecosystem. It's the vital, constantly moving highway that keeps the whole system breathing, taking that massive volume of data generated by our devices and transporting it right up the chain. And exactly where does that data travel? Well, this exchange happens between the devices themselves, gateways, centralized servers, cloud platforms, and ultimately the applications. It spans the entire physical hardware layer all the way up to the end user. Let's move to the next layer and see how this builds with blocks 3 and 4, services and management. We're now shifting from the physical movement of data into the software utilities running things behind the scenes. It's absolutely crucial to clearly contrast these 2 conceptually similar blocks. On one side, we have services. Their job is to help applications interact with devices and data efficiently. Basically, they're outward-facing. On the other side, we have management. This block governs the overall operation of the IoT system itself. It's the inward-facing, back-end governance keeping the lights on. Let's break down services first. IoT services include things like device monitoring, device control, data publishing, and device discovery. Just think of these services as the highly helpful middlemen for your apps. If your application wants to know the temperature from a sensor or discover a new smart bulb you just plugged in, it uses these specific services to efficiently get that done. Now, contrast that with the IoT management block. This one is strictly about system health. It includes configuration management, device management, performance monitoring, and maintenance activities. This block isn't about helping the user interact with the data. It's entirely focused on the configuration, upkeep, and smooth running of the system architecture itself. That brings us to our 5th functional block, security. Think of security as the essential digital shield and locks wrapping around our entire blueprint. It ensures that devices, users, and data remain protected at all times. And why does this matter so much? Because without this protective block, everything we've built, the sensors, the data highways, the management servers, is completely vulnerable. The entire data journey relies on the integrity of this block. To achieve this protection, the security block utilizes a few critical mechanisms straight from the source. We're talking authentication, proving you are who you say you are; authorization, proving you have the right to access it; plus message integrity, content integrity, and overarching data security. These 5 mechanisms cement exactly how an IoT system defends itself against intrusion. Arriving at the final piece of the puzzle, block number 6, application. Applications provide the interfaces through which users interact with the system. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that despite all the incredibly complex layers beneath it, the sensors, the protocols, the security algorithms, this is often the only block the user actually sees. It's the front door of our blueprint. Through this interface, applications allow users to do some amazing things. You can monitor and control devices, view the overall system status, analyze process data, and ultimately generate insights for decision-making. This is where the data's long journey concludes. It transforms from raw physical sensor input down at the foundation, all the way into actionable insights for human decision-making right here at the top. Let's bring our architectural map back one last time. By now, you should be able to look at this and see exactly how all 6 pieces we just analyzed interlock perfectly. The devices gather data, communication transmits it, services and management organize and maintain the flow, security protects the entire process, and the application sits on top, providing the user interface. Together, these functional blocks form a unified, abstract representation of a complete IoT system. And that brings us to the end of our architectural breakdown. You now have a really solid grasp of the logical design of IoT, free from the clutter of low-level implementation. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. With this incredibly adaptable blueprint firmly in your mind, what complex physical processes in our world will we digitize next? The potential is absolutely boundless. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.